Hey guys, Besa Gordon here. I probably should have told Travis that I was going to actually start right now, but how y'all doing?
No, we're good. How you doing? Hey, thank you for having me.
I'm good. So look, you guys, as you probably know, haven't had Travis in the studio. Well, actually, I've never had you personally in the studios here.
Yeah, never.
Last time we talked, we were at Converge, and it was so long ago that we have a new studio. We're not even in that same location anymore.
I remember that. I was just telling him outside we was at Converge. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, so you have to we have to get you down there one of these days to come in so that way you can see the infinity wall. And then that way you can see, like, the new banners. Like, it's a whole built-in situation now.
That's fire. I like it.
Okay, so look. First and foremost, I want to congratulate you on being someone like myself from the PNW. You threw the first pitch at the Mariners game.
I did. Thank you. And it was a strike, right? It was a strike. It was pretty good.
Let me ask you this. Was that a goal of yours?
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to throw the first. I grew up playing baseball, too. So I've been trying to throw the first pitch forever.
Like, you've imagined it then.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you grow up in Seattle, you grow up at, like, you know what I'm saying? When you're playing little games of, like, wiffle ball. You know what I'm saying? You look at your friends and you go like bottom of the ninth, safe code, da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, pause. I said Travis Scott.
You did.
Why didn't anybody? Chill.
I didn't know if you were going to cut it all up.
Look, I smoke weed like everybody else.
Hey,
okay?
I'm right there with you. Nah, what? You on radio and you had to say Travis first. It's an instinct to say Scott. I'm not tripping. I'm really not. I don't give a fuck.
I just love JC. He said,
That's what I was looking at him.
JC hands me a whole note.
I got you. No, I just
we have
I don't want to
Travis
fuck up your flow.
Thompson in the building.
I don't
Nah,
want to fuck
man.
up your flow, dog.
For me, with tinglings like that, with people say your name wrong, respect my name.
Hey, no, I feel
all them ASAPs. You know,
I get
you're
you.
not gonna say ASAP Rocky when it's ASAP Ferg. Like,
you know, real shit. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. No, real one. No, thank you.
But Travis Thompson,
I'm here.
How?
Real life.
What was it like your first time that you imagined throwing that pitch?
Oh, well, yeah. As a kid growing up in Seattle playing baseball, you dream of. I know it's called T-Mobile Park, but for me it was Safeco. You know what I'm saying? I've dreamed of hitting the Safeco mound my entire life. And I don't know, none of it really hit me, the nervousness. None of it really like meant anything until I stood there, until they go, Travis Thompson. You walk and you stand up there getting ready to throw the pitch, and you look around and it's like a stadium. It's a trip. It's like, it doesn't even feel real. You know what I'm saying? And it's over like that, which kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? But it was beautiful, man. It was awesome.
I want to, if I were to say what my imagination moment is for me, you know, throwing a pitch somewhere.
Yeah.
It would have to be raising the 12th man flag at the Seahawks. Like, I've envisioned that so many times.
Yeah, no,
that
I
if
feel
it
you.
doesn't happen, I'm just gonna be like, so this manifestation thing just doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
Like, is that what you're like? This just
the universe is out to get me if I'm not raising this 12th man flag for sure.
Like,
no, I feel you. I'm right there with you. And a Sonics halftime show. So like a first pitch in a Mariners game, the 12th man flag, and we don't have the Sonics, but a Sonics halftime show would be like the trifecta of growing up here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what I heard.
Hey, me too, and I'm gonna keep it alone.
Well, we can say what everybody knows, which is that there are NBA lockers in Clement.
Okay, I didn't know we could say that.
They talked about it on the news.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
oh, then we're
somebody has
straight.
talked about it, and they've tweeted about it.
I went to like a rich basketball, like hockey party, like a bunch of investors and stuff, and they were like, if the Kraken do well, we're getting the Sonics. And I was like, oh, for real? It's like that? And they were like, the Kraken are doing well. And I'm like, okay, what? It's like that? Okay. So, hey, shout out to some halftime show on the way. On the way.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I met the Moose. I now need to meet the Sasquatch. You know what I'm saying?
Not the
Yeah, the Sonic Sasquatch. You don't even remember that one. Exactly.
I remember everyone that used to walk around like the Sasquatch.
Oh, for sure. Do you remember the dudes who used to slang energy drinks outside of Key Arena for the Sonics games too? Do you remember that? Like the rock stars and monsters, and they used to just like, they were very aggressively selling energy drinks outside. Anyways, that's legendary. We'll get there.
Quick confession, I've never been to one of the Sonics games.
You never been to a Sonics game?
I've never been to a Seahawks game either.
Whoa. Okay. And you work here. You probably get free tickets thrown at you all the time.
They don't give me shit.
Okay, for real? Okay, bet.
Well, you know what? I lie. They do give me some tickets. But when it comes to things like, you know,
the things you really want to go to? Yeah, I know. I feel you.
I can get concert tickets all day long, but I'm trying to get
trying to see LeBron at the crossover. I'm trying to, and I'm right there with you, Cuddy. Right there.
And then when LeBron was here, I was freaking in Portland.
Bro, I got to the door, through the door, and they're like, shut down. The whole thing shut down. I'm like, yeah. But I guess we just gotta get popping for real, because this kind of thing, this wouldn't happen if we was popping for real. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I have to ask you about that in terms of being popping for real, and things that would be different if we had certain things in place. For example, Portland Hip Hop Week. You saw that I was out there.
Okay, yeah.
And to my knowledge, we don't have anything like that here. You know what I'm saying?
I've never even heard of Portland Hip Hop Week. What's Portland Hip Hop Week?
So Portland Hip Hop Week, let me tell you. Basically what it is it's a week that's put together by DJ OG1.
Oh, yeah.
And it's every year. I think they skipped maybe a couple years because of the pandemic. But either way, they bring together different people in hip hop in Portland. And it's not just a weekend of concerts. It's also literally a weekend of celebrating people and giving them their flowers. His whole thing was yo, I feel like people need to get their flowers while they're still here. Give them that appreciation right now. And so although he's over the whole event, he doesn't make it about him. He gave out so many awards to different people and actually had a real award for them.
Damn.
He had a showcase called Flip and Flow for different producers.
Okay.
So,
that's dope. That's dope.
They take the beat, they flip the beat, and then the producer wins something.
It's like a beat battle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then artists do the same thing with that beat, but they make their music to it.
Oh, wow. And then it's like a song battle. Whoa, that's hard.
So I was fortunate enough to be one of the judges.
You were a judge? Oh, yeah, that's
OG1 asked me the day before.
Okay, but that's hard.
And he was like, you want to be a judge? I was like, yeah, I'm down. So with the artists, this is what they won. And this was so dope. They won radio play.
Yeah.
They won studio time.
Yeah.
Some money. And they also won Trailblazer play because OG1 is the
fire.
DJ for the Trailblazers.
I love that. That's so hard.
And I just feel like we're missing things like that here for our local hip hop community. And I'm always the one that tell people, you guys got to get out of Seattle if you want to make it. You can do certain things here, but once you go viral, get out of here. Go make those connections because
that's one of them things too where I always feel like it's a double-edged sword of when I tell people to stay in Seattle as long as they can or as long as they have to. You know what I'm saying? Build your base here. Get your chops up here. There's not many other cities where you can get opening slots like this. There's not many other cities where you can the studio is available like this. There's not many. So it's stay here for as long as you can. Because as soon as you get to LA, they're not playing that. They're none of those cheap photo shoots, none of the cheap videos, none of that's happening. You know what I'm saying? So I be telling people to stay here. But as soon as you have any type of acclaim or buzz, you got to go spread your wings for sure. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah,
totally.
Absolutely.
You literally have to. Because like you said, things like that don't exist here.
And then also Seattle can be a little crabs in the barrel-esque,
Yeah. I dealt with that for a really long time, for a super long time. But I don't know. I always feel like a lot of people in Seattle complain about that, but they're not really doing nothing. So I'm like, all right.
Do you feel like once you finally started going viral, that was when you were able to toss, just turn the barrel over to where it's you could be the crab, but I'm just going to let you crawl around? Because I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like out here, and maybe it's like this in other cities, I don't freaking know, but it will be very crabs in the barrel. I'm going to try to cut you off of certain things until you go viral, until you get that industry cosign. And at this point, it's people know that there's nothing that they can do about it. So they might as well just get on board.
Yeah. In my head, it's always been Seattle, I wouldn't even say it's crabs in the bucket, but it's just no one's ever satisfied. Nothing's ever cool enough for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And everyone wants to feel like their version of Seattle. If it's not being represented, then it's not it. And it's but when you go to the Bay Area or something, there's so many artists that have laid a blueprint for how the different levels of this game go. You know what I'm saying? Seattle doesn't really have that. So it's either you're the thing or you're lame. There's nowhere to exist in the middle in Seattle. So I just think as a city, we need to come together more and take pride. People are even I'll see a viral video from someone from Seattle go viral on TikTok, and then all the comments are people from Seattle shitting on Seattle. And it's have some pride, bro. You know what I'm saying? Have some local, I don't know, be proud to be from here, because there's definitely dope things going on. And if you don't feel like they're dope, then be dope. And if you feel like your version of the city isn't being represented, then please go put something out and contribute. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to get anywhere if constantly everything is cool for like 3 months and then we're over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like, was there a real moment where Blueberry Faygo, the whole city was excited about it? No.
Nope. If
but
anything,
I'm like,
the
that
whole
song's
city
just as big
shitted
as
on it.
if that song's just as big as Nirvana songs. And regardless of how you feel, respect numbers, respect movements. You know what I'm saying? So like, at the end of the day, yeah, are people in Seattle crabs in a barrel? But the same people saying that are the same ones calling things lame. The same ones being like, oh, that event is cooked. We don't do that no more. We did that last summer. And it's like, what are you doing, bro? What are we doing out here? Like, we're not going to get anywhere. Like, I wouldn't even say it's crabs in a barrel. I'd say like crabs who are too cool for the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what no one's ever satisfied. So like, that shit's frustrating. But at the end of the day, the fan base is here. The cool kids just talk. The fan base, they're not on Twitter. They're not on Instagram. They don't really care. The people who are really showing out for these things are going to show out. So as long as you find them, you're cool. But yeah, the scene of it all gets very corny and embarrassing sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's absolutely embarrassing, especially when I was in Portland. There was a guy, I forget what his name was, but he was doing the flip and flow and he was performing his song. Yeah. And he didn't send the right beat over. So his beat for his song to like rap over was only 30 seconds, but it was supposed to be about 3 minutes. So he was oh my goodness, you know, like he was like, I was supposed to, like, he starts like rattling off like how he was supposed to send a certain beat, but he sent the wrong one. And he goes, it's cool, I'm gonna just keep going. Literally something that I've never seen in Seattle. Everybody starts clapping. They they created a beat for him to keep going. People were like banging, they were snapping, and he was able to finish his whole song, and then everyone just cheered for him and gave him so many props for keep going. But I feel like if that would have happened here in Seattle, people would have been like, well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, you're not lying, bro. You are not lying. But I don't know. It's really hard because I'm someone who reps Seattle to almost to a detriment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rep this almost to a point where it's like, okay, we get it. You know what I'm saying? But I do that specifically because I feel like I'm having to make up for kids who are popping and they don't even rep it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's kids out here who like get millions of streams who Seattle doesn't mean anything to them. And like, I feel you, but I super don't feel you at all. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like as a city, we need to find that happy medium of like leveling up and understanding how this works, but also having some pride and realizing where we're at. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Especially not feeling like when people say you're from Seattle and then they're like, oh, what happens there? Let them know what happens here.
Oh, my mama,
Let
bro.
them know what you're doing,
like,
so people just stop thinking that we're hiking. I seen a TikTok the other day and this guy was like playing video games in his house, and then it goes, oh, you don't look like you're from Seattle. He goes, oh, hold on. And then he puts on like some slides and then starts pretending like he's hiking.
Real?
I'm like, dude, don't get me wrong. I like being outside, but not all of us are hikers and fish catchers over at Pike Place. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, a lot of the people who grew up in the city haven't been hiking before. Like, so yeah, for sure. I feel you. We're surrounded by forests and stuff, so I get it. But like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And there's just, I don't know. There's even like a level of like when you go to venues, these venues will treat you really whack if you're a rapper just because like Nirvana also played there, or like Soundgarden. I'm like, for sure, I wasn't even alive last time these grunge guys played here. No disrespect, but like, you're treating me with the level of like ego that I wasn't even here for. So relax, brother. We sold this out. Show us some respect. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, I don't know. It's just one of those cities, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of white, kind of corny sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But we're figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking of figuring things out, let me get my proper notes here. Roll in Hulu FX show, Reservation Dogs.
Yes,
Looks like your first featured episode is going down September 7th.
September 7th.
Can you give us the tea about that greatness?
Man, okay, so Reservation Dogs is a show on Hulu FX about like 4 native kids from the Muskogee Nation who are just like trying to raise money to get to California and leave the res. But it's really just like the trials and tribulations of growing up on the res and stuff like that. And when the show first came out, I hit them up and I was like, yo, if you need a song, you need anything. But like I said, I wasn't trying to be an actor. I wasn't trying to, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted a song. So I just hit them up to try to get music on there for hella long. And then in February of this year, they posted that they needed extras. So I was like, I just reposted it on my story. I was like, hey, everyone tell them you're trying to see me in this show. We like flooded their comments. So they were like, hey, we actually might have an audition for you if you want. And I was like, oh my God, like, what, are you kidding me? Yes, I would love to audition. So I auditioned for that and it went really, really well, but I didn't hear anything until like the end of May, beginning of June, I think, or something like that. And then it was like, you want to come to Oklahoma in 3 days and play this role? And I'm like, oh my, yes, bro. What are you kidding me? Yeah. So in end of May, I went out and filmed for episode 7, which comes out on Wednesday. And then I also am in episode 9, which comes out in a couple weeks. Yeah, man.
So let me ask you this, because obviously that is the power of not only having fans, but actual supporters.
Yeah, real life too. And it's one of them things too where I still post now where I'll be like, hey, leave a comment or like tag somebody or repost on your story. And it's like, sometimes I feel like it falls on deaf ears. But like, yo, these comments changed my life. I have like an acting agent now. We audition for things now. You know what I'm saying? It's like that changed that one story post where I was like, oh, that's kind of corny. I don't want to ask people to like, I just did it and it changed my life. So yeah, literally having supporters and like people realizing that their comments actually mean something was tight. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think that you got that kind of support? Because that's not the first time that you've been like, hey, flood these comments, and they actually flood the comments.
Yeah, man. I just feel like from the beginning, I've just got a goofy ass look that, you know what I'm saying? That it's like I can't be anyone but myself. Like it would be a disservice, or it would come off hella like disingenuous if I tried to be anything but me. So like we aggressively drove me into the ground of like, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, I'm vulnerable, the music can be sad, it can be happy, it's all over the place, but I'm just gonna put who I am and just throw it at the wall. And I think that's why people relate to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just very much like, I don't know, it's all about being yourself. It's all about like overcoming sadness and like following your dreams. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, things like that. So we've devoted when people find the music, it's not just like I play this at pre-games. When they find the music, it's like, oh, this song helped me get through this thing. You know what I'm saying? So people are a little bit more incentivized to help you out because you help them out, when it's like not just the turn up song. It's like
Real quick, how did Travis Thompson find himself and figure out who he was? So that way, I feel like when you're in this industry, it's so easy for you to get a management or an agent, and then they'll be like, I need you like this. Yeah. Or I then envision you like this. And it's like, well, you didn't meet me like that. So let's reel this back in.
I think finding myself in the beginning was very easy. Just like I said, I couldn't be anything but exactly who I was, because it was already like, I got such a weird looking face where if I say something on a song, people, even if like I have photo evidence that it happened, people are like, come on, bro, that ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things. So we never really pressed that issue. And can you rephrase that question again? What was the?
So, for example, when I interviewed Brett Barish, right, the guy over Sovereign Brands, which is Luke Belair and all that good stuff.
Yep.
He said that his first couple brands failed because he wasn't being true to himself.
That's what it was. Yeah. And I still feel like I'm still trying to find myself. Like I still will feel like I'll look back at the past year and be like, oh, I made that decision because like I was going off of what my friends thought was dope, or I was going off of what like, because even your friends and management who have the best interest for you at heart, even people who want to see you win, who would never do you dirty, can just make bad mistakes and like wrong decisions and kind of like throw the trajectory of your whole career off. And like, it's not even like, I'm not even gonna fault them sometimes, like it just happens. But like finding yourself is saying no to things that make sense or make money sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like we've said no to tours where I look back and I'm like, probably should have taken that tour. But at the end of the day, like I think that artist is corny, and I think in 10 years from now we will not be that won't even be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like things like, I don't know, I'm still learning to find myself. So to answer the question, how do you find yourself, is, I don't know, I found myself, one, by just like not trying to be anything other than who I am, and two, having the world having the world show my own reflection a little bit of like, oh, this is how you see me? Well, that's not true. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Just taking bits and pieces of how people receive me, and also just not trying. You know what I'm saying? Finding myself is just really just not trying.
Yeah, because if you're trying, then
it's over.
You're literally trying to be someone else.
You're finding something else. Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly. So I don't know. I wish I had a better answer of how I found myself. I don't know. It's really just like trial and error of just growing up. I'm like 25, so I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm still growing up, trying to become a better dude, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know what I'm saying, life happens. You learn.
So, you know, speaking of finding yourself, because that is why I like your music, because you are you, and you're like, your sound is your sound. It's not like you're trying to be anyone else. Like,
thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Travis Thompson. Period.
Thank you. Genuinely, thank you.
Your new album, If I'm Alive, that is releasing on September 6th. Can
Correct.
you tell us what we are getting from this album, and if it's going to be any different from your previous projects?
Man, the If I'm Alive, it's really just like a collection of 5 songs. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like the project is this like super like deep and like heavy and vulnerable thing, because with the title might suggest that, but the title is really just kind of like a comment on where the world's at right now. It was one of them things where everyone's trying to make plans. Everyone's hitting my phone every day of like, or needing something. And it's just like, if I'm alive, that is like, yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if I'm alive, that, you know what I'm saying? And it also speaks on just like, we left the label this year, you know what I'm saying? So it took a while to like get that paperwork handled. And it was like, where you at, Trav? So it kind of speaks to that too of like, if I'm alive, that is like, are you alive? Are you putting out music? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? And then, yeah, that's really about it. And also like the homie from the last interview was saying, a lot of people are living, but they're not alive. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not actually living. They're just kind of going through the motion. So it's like, that's another like meaning for it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
That autopilot. And
exactly.
people really love to be on a good autopilot out here. And I like that because, you know, if I am alive is really almost also saying take one day at a time and live that day as much as you can. And I always tell people every single day you need to do at least one thing that your future will thank you for.
Damn, that's real shit.
At least one.
That's real.
Think about it. You do one thing for 30 days that your future will thank you for, even if it's the same thing every day.
My homie told me if you don't embarrass yourself at least a little bit once a day, you are not doing anything. And I'm like, that's facts. Like if I don't walk out with a little bit of like my outfit's a little crazy, or like I said something like a little extra, or if I didn't do something that day that didn't embarrass me, then the day was a waste. I didn't grow. I didn't learn anything. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you didn't make yourself uncomfortable. You know, I was talking, what was my episode yesterday? Or earlier today, we were talking about Kanye West and all of his rants and how he doesn't go to therapy anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like a lot of people don't want to go to therapy because it makes them uncomfortable. And I'm like, since when is change and progression ever comfortable?
Ever comfortable, yeah.
It's not supposed to be.
No, not at all. Especially if you're confronting the things about yourself that you need to fix. What? Like, yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah, no, I know. I'm trying to go to therapy too. I'm procrastinating on it, but it's definitely vital.
No, same. And you know what? We're gonna get that together before this year is over.
Exactly. I done ghosted a couple therapists. I done like had sessions set up, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't know, man. That's weird. But we gonna figure it out for real.
So tell us real quick, what is Rainier Our Day Festival?
Oh, so Rainier Festival hasn't thrown it since I think like 2019 just because of the pandemic, but they're going to take over like all of Georgetown basically. They're going to shut down like the whole block of Georgetown on September 24th, and it's going to be a big like Rainier beer festival. Yeah, it's going to be fire. It's going to be me, the Naked Giants, I think like Shayna Shepherd and a few other people. It's going to be dope. Yeah, she's on I'm working on an album with Jake One right now too, and we just had her on some songs. She's fire.
Oh, I actually got to call Jake One.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness, so Shayna's going to be at the event that I'm going to be at tomorrow for Pier 62 Sounds.
Oh, okay, bet. Yeah, yep. She's fire. Her voice is so crazy.
And it's like it sounds good on like you know the albums and stuff, but in person,
no, it's crazy. And she has one of those vocal tones that's like modern but not. You know what I'm saying? It's like it sounds like it's straight out of like 94. But also, it like would work on like any type of beat. It's fire. She has a crazy voice.
She has a huge range, man.
Yeah, and she'll sing in the song. She was singing in the booth, and we were like, oh, that's a sample. Like literally, we're like, oh, we're gonna sample everything you did. Like we might not use those takes, but we're gonna sample it because it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? She's fire. Yeah.
So also, you have a tour coming up.
Yeah, me and Rex Life Raj are going around the whole country.
Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, can I be the person to say that I looked at this tour and I didn't see Seattle on there?
Yeah, but we're doing a screening next weekend at an all ages release party plus the Our Day show. It was like I don't know. I had the screening party already kind of like lined up for the all ages, and then I had the Rainier Festival. So I was like, I'm not gonna like I don't know. I felt like I was taking away from all of their own tickets by having too many shows in one city. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know. It's also gonna be nice to have a night off on tour. But I think I'll still pop out. And do a song or something. But yeah.
Yeah, man, or do like a little meet and greet, little song.
I'll pop out. Yeah, people have. The Crocodile told me that people have been hitting them up for refunds, and I'm like, nah, you should still go to the show. I'll pull up. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but no, it'll be a good time.
And then also, you just dropped a new single. By the time that people see this, it'll be out.
It's out.
It's
called Paul Rudd with Rex Life Raj. Yes, sir.
Let us know a little bit about this song, and if the video is coming out anytime soon. If it has come out, let me know.
What's it called? I made Paul Rudd with this guy named Diamond Pistols. He's a producer from I think he's from like Sammamish, or he's from like somewhere, but he's the one doing all like the Baby No Money, Young Gravy stuff right now. But he's a kid from Sammamish, you know what I'm saying? And we linked up in the studio and we made a few songs, and that was one of them. And we sent it to Rex Life or Raj maybe a few months ago, and it's just one of the songs that like me and Raj became friends. He was like, you have anything? I'm like, I have this sitting around. He sent it back in like a few days. It was like me and the homies been playing it back for 6 months now, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna film a video on tour, so it'll be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so to wrap this up, I got to do 6 random questions.
Ooh, let's do it.
Okay, 1. What is your favorite Reed strand?
Probably just OG. Probably just a good OG Kush. A good OG Kush.
Okay. 2. Have you ever had your hair above your eyebrows? And if so, when was the last time?
In junior year of high school, I did like I did like not the shave size, but like a comb over thing kind of. Not like saying comb over just sounds rough. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Just saying it sounds terrible. But I did like the little thing for like a week, but it was just too much work. It was only like 10 minutes in the morning, but it was too much work. You know what I'm saying? I grown up, take a shower, you hop out and you're done. So yeah.
Okay. Number 3, have you ever caught the fish at Pike Place?
No, I've never caught the fish at Pike Place. I tried to do that for the Dead Prezzies video was supposed to be there at Pike Place, but I mentioned cocaine in the song and they were like, no, Pike Place wants no part of it. So I had to go do a different fish market. So I've caught fishes, but not at Pike Place. Yeah.
If you could do a world tour, where would be the first place you go?
The first stop is Mexico City. Mexico City is I'm not even Mexican, but Mexico City has been my biggest fan. I'm like 10 times bigger there than Seattle. Wow. So like, yeah, like when you go to my YouTube channel, all the comments are in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're bigger in. I'm going to Mexico City for the first time, not for a show, but just to go kick it at the end of November. But if I could plan a show, that's the first place, just because like they've been waiting for it. I mean, we get a lot of love down there, so I'm trying to like show it back.
I love it. Number 5, most painful tattoo.
Oh, I got the middle of my chest done, like right on my sternum, and like when they hit the middle of your bone, it's like a jackhammer. It's like on the bone, but it's also your chest, so you can't breathe. So you're like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot. Like you were kind of like stuck, and you have to like put your like a pillow on your back so like your chest is out. It really hurt, but you know what I'm saying? That was cool. It was cool. The hand didn't hurt at all. People think the hands hurt, but they don't. But yeah, the chest hurt very bad. Yeah.
I'm horrified as I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, the chest is, I know, I have to get my stomach done here soon, and like that one looks kind of bad. But there's a lot of fat there, but still, I'm just like, ugh, it looks rough.
Last question. Give me one misconception of Travis Thompson.
A misconception of Travis Thompson. I don't know. One, this is gonna be a super localized misconception, but we have a song where I mentioned 509. And everyone thinks I'm from like Spokane or like Yakima or something. Everyone thinks I'm from like Tri-Cities or like Eastern Washington. And I'm like, hey, I got love for y'all, but that's not where I'm from. I'm from over here. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's a misconception. I don't know. Another misconception is, I don't know. A misconception maybe would be that like we musically can't focus on one thing, or just musically that it's not like the sound hasn't been like locked down to one thing. But I think that just kind of speaks to Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Like we've never stuck to one sound. There's no one Seattle type thing. So it's like, I don't know. I think that's almost been a detriment sometimes in my career. It's like, oh, we're all over the place, but I kind of like that about us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Well, that's the part of art, like you're not supposed to be in a box. That's why it cracks me up when people are like, Drake is doing this kind of music. He's a freaking artist. He's supposed to.
Oh, my mama, bro. It's really not that far of a stretch either, too. It's not. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And now everyone is over here bumping the songs. I'm like, see, that's what happens when you don't smoke before you listen to music.
Oh, God, for real. No, when we put out Dead Prezzies, too, it was like, because it's just a super, like, Bay Area influence song. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bass line is, like, almost like, tell me when to go. But it's one of the things where it's like, have you been to a Beery and Bearcat football practice in early 2000s? All we listened to was E40 and Too Short. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the things where it's like, well, this is, I don't know. It's like Seattle is very eclectic in terms of the influence of sounds that we take. So I feel like a lot of times people are trying to figure us out, and it's like, you can't really, but that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, you guys know If I Am Alive, that is currently out. So if you haven't grabbed it, go grab it on all streaming platforms.
Please do.
Of course, make sure that you guys blow up Travis Thompson's social media so he can do another concert here in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. I want to thank you for coming in, and you already
thank you
know.
for having me. It's family. Yes,
you
sir.
have an open invitation.
Come on.
I need it.
Thank you.